See, I done told y'all liberated asses. Y'all doing all this mocking and who ran for Charlie Kirk dying. Y'all ass getting fired. Let's check it out.
Demonic psychopaths. So just a couple of people. We've got the Carolina Panthers fire communications coordinator, unemployed. We've got the assistant dean of students from Middle Tennessee State University. Clearly, you shouldn't be around students or human beings at all, so you're without a job. We've got a Meridian High School employee fired for celebrating Charlie Kirk's death. Again, nowhere near education or children or people, as a matter of fact, maybe a straitjacket in a padded room. Got the executive assistant at University of Mississippi fired for comparing Charlie Kirk to the KKK. Again, someone employed in education yet doesn't know anything about the KKK or Charlie Kirk. So it's a good thing you're no longer employed there.
So the Carolina Panthers just fired their communications coordinator after he mocked the assassination of Charlie Kirk on his social media. His name is Charlie Rock. And hours after Kirk was killed, he allegedly posted a message that read, "Why are y'all sad? Your man said it was worth it." Along with a photo of Charlie Kirk and even a Wu-Tang Clan song named Protect Ya Neck. Think about.
Whoa, that's crazy. People are losing their jobs over this whole situation. And what's interesting here is it's not like, like when we usually see this type of situation, you have a bunch of people who are trying to like call a person's job and get them fired. There's a bit of that too. I have a few videos here. But what I'm seeing that's hitting the spotlight are people who are losing their jobs because they are in big companies.
I already said this. Y'all getting online trying to glorify homie death, glorify him for dying. Look, now y'all looking crazy. Out of a job, getting on camera, screaming, hollering, doing all this crying. You get what you put out, man. Read what you saw. I told y'all that. And for y'all people that say y'all don't care about Charlie Kirk, but you're still posting about Charlie Kirk and how people should feel about Charlie Kirk because of the things he said and looking over his death, even though you're trying to say that it was a horrific event, you discount that when you try to bring out all of the other stuff. Because, like I said, as much as I disagreed with Charlie Kirk about certain topics, and it's mainly about statistics and data, like it's a lot, some of it just not accurate, and I say it was more rage bait. We can agree to disagree, and also I can state what I believe in and say, like, hey, I don't really agree with this because the statistics is more profound than what you're trying to portray it to be. And I can just bring out what I believe in, and if we don't agree, we can just agree to disagree, and that be the end of it. Y'all want to take it a step further and call this man a racist. That term is used so loosely today. Like, this is not 1970, 1980, 1960, 50, Jim Crow era. Those days are long gone. It is over. Y'all wish y'all were dealing with racial tension, but at the same time, you don't. Because in reality, you pussy, you really couldn't deal with that type of heat. But at the same time, you want it because that gives you glorification. That gives you attention that you never had in life. That's why y'all want to scream out races on everybody. And like I said, y'all mocking this man dead. Look at you.
All in the HR offices today of the multiple amount of nurses that I saw yesterday mocking the death of Charlie Kirk. I'm sure their conversations with HR this morning didn't go quite the way they saw that whole scenario playing out. As a nurse, I'm not a nurse, I'm saying, you've worked so hard to get there. Countless nights of studies and lack of sleep and loss of sleep and family time and sweat and tears that you put in to become that nurse, to care for everybody. It's an oath you take, to let that all crumble from one stupid thing that you do on this app, which is mock the death of somebody. Well, I hear McDonald's and Taco Bell and Burger King and Wendy's are hiring, so maybe you can find a job there.
Matthew Doe was fired from MSNBC for saying this about Charlie Kirk.
So this is another guy who got fired from MSNBC.
He's been one of the most divisive, especially divisive younger figures in this, who is constantly sort of pushing this sort of hate speech or sort of aimed at certain groups. And I always go back to hateful thoughts lead to hateful words, which then lead to hateful actions.
You have one person that was killed for freedom of speech, and now you have someone that's fired from their job for freedom of speech. Matthew is not the only person that feels this way about.
Wait. How is that the same thing? Can someone please confirm with me in the comment section down below how that's the same thing?
Charlie Kirk and a lot of comments that he made, but because of his role at MSNBC, he can't share his personal opinion on camera because then they're going to take it as this is the opinion of the network.
Of course.
At the end of the day, it's a job and they can let you go at any time.
Right.
Charlie Kirk was most likely murdered by someone who disagreed with his opinion because, as we all know, he has strong opinions about gun laws in America, civil rights, and so much more. Let me know what you think about this. Do you think Matthew deserved to be fired from MSNBC for sharing his personal opinion?
It's not about what he deserved. It was an irresponsible move on his part. There are just certain things that you should know. And you guys, you know this. If you've ever worked at any job where you have to wear a uniform, if you know you're going to do something questionable, let's say you got out of character and you want to fight somebody, you wouldn't plan to show up right after work in your FedEx uniform and get into a fist fight on camera, right? It's kind of like the same thing. Maybe he just got too emotional and too carried away. That was huge. This commenter here says,
Yeah, I mean, look, as far as did he deserve it, I mean, a company can do whatever they want to do. You have to understand that you are in representation of that company when you begin to work for that company. You have to always understand that, always keep that in mind. Even me, right? Like, there's certain things I would want to say, but I can't really say those certain things because I'm still in the workforce. I still work for companies, right? And I still get contracts. I even own a business. There's certain things that I can't get on here and say. And you have to keep those things in mind. And whether you agreed or disagreed with Charlie Kirk, what you cannot do, whether you on the right or the left, because there's people on the right getting fired too for leaking addresses, talking about what they're going to do, talking about screaming out white power and stuff like that. I want y'all to keep that in mind too. There's somebody on here who's getting people from the left fired for mocking Charlie Kirk, but they also got people on the right fired as well for doing those things. Like I said, leaking addresses, talking about what they're going to do, pull up on people who want to mock Charlie Kirk. We're going to do the same thing that was done to him to y'all. Like, people are getting fired for saying that type of rhetoric. So you have to just keep in mind, you want to get on here talking gangster. Our policies, we don't do that here at this company. So you can go. So be it. The freedom of speech thing is for just your human rights. That doesn't give you the benefit of the doubt at working at X or A or B. So always keep that in mind.
People who were terminated from their place of employment because they thought it would be funny to come on here and joke, mock, and make fun of Charlie Kirk being unalived. For all of you guys who don't know, I go around finding these disgusting people. I find out everything that I can about them, and then I email their companies and let them know what their employees are doing online. So we got Liam from Ohio. He worked in retail. Yeah, he's been terminated. And we got Carissa in Delaware who worked in hospitality. She was also fired today. And then we got Angelique from Texas who worked in cosmetics and beauty. She was fired today as well. Actually, the company that fired Angelique posted a video letting everybody know that she was fired. As you guys can see, I'm really worn down. I'm exhausted. Doing all this is actually really hard and everything like that. And I know I'm getting a lot of people saying they want to help, they want to help, they want to help. But my thing is I can't trust everyone to actually do the right thing. I can't trust that people are only going to do what I am doing, because I am not out there going and threatening these people. I'm not going out and threatening the companies that they work for. I'm not review bombing these companies, nothing of that nature. All I am simply doing is getting these videos or these messages, and I'm sending them to these people's employer.
I don't know if I agree with this. I don't think this is right. I don't think this is right. And here's why. There are so many people, man. And this is what I really believe, guys. As much as I am very much against the people who are like celebrating this, there's so many people who actually don't truly believe in even what they're doing. And a lot of young people who I've seen who are just like, oh, what's cool to do? Okay, twerk and dance to this guy who just died. And they truly do not understand. Now, maybe he's finding specific people who are like very dangerous. Maybe they're saying they want more of this to happen. I've seen people actually say that. I've seen people actually call out other conservative public figures and say, is this person next? Is that person next? Maybe he's being responsible. I definitely do understand and respect the fact that he's careful, because, yeah, I wouldn't trust people to go out here and ruin other people's lives, because then it's just the exact same thing. I think some people are going to look back and they're going to be embarrassed about some of the videos that they put out there, the dancing, the twerking, the celebrating over somebody's death. Maybe they'll go through a death in their own lives, because we all die and we all have death. I may die tomorrow. I may die. Life is just so fragile and it's painful. And so I would hope that if this is done, then it's to people who he may be afraid are trying to encourage more of this.
And after that, how their employer.
But I want to be clear. I'm not with the calling jobs and doxing people. I'm just not with that.
Handles it is on them. So I'm not going to bring anybody in to work with me.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I can say like whether I disagree with him saying that or agree. I'll just say that this has always been the case. We just have social media now. Everybody has a camera phone. Everybody's posting stuff on social media. So what do you have to do as a person that are working for these companies? You have to watch what you say. You have to give up certain things. You have to do that. Especially if you are like a white collar worker. I'm sure a lot of blue collar worker jobs wouldn't give like you work for a construction company, they probably wouldn't give a damn. I don't know. But I'm just saying, like, it's always been people out there like that that will watch you. Like people that work for OSHA. Like just because they off the clock a certain day don't mean they looking at how certain people, work on certain jobs. They will go report it once they have to clock back in on Monday. I've literally seen this. Yeah, I went past this construction joint and I was seeing these dudes, this company, and nobody was wearing harnesses. I just happened to pass by there on Saturday. So I think it's a place we should go check out. Here come OSHA writing $10,000 fines. That's just the way it is. I think people need to have more decorum. This is going to teach these people a lesson in having more decorum when it comes to just being on the internet, being out willy-nilly. You have a freedom of speech. You can say whatever you want to say, but if you're going to work for this company, you cannot act like this. Point blank, period. If you want freedom of speech all across the board, start your own business where it doesn't rely heavily on political things or just things that people may disagree with or anything. You sell a product that is so good, people don't care what you believe or think, right? That's like, I don't know, you could say Joe Rogan. Like people may disagree with him, people may really hate him, but guess what? He has a super big fan base that really rock with him, whether they agree or disagree. And he always gonna have money coming in. So end of the day, bottom line, this is, the good with the bad. This is what's good about it. This is the bad about it. When it comes down to working for these companies, it's always been like that. So I think we as the people have to be mindful of the things we say going to be working for these certain companies. End of the day, bottom line. That's my thoughts about it.
I'll give you guys a little something. Here's one, and here's another one. And I'm going to say this, and I cannot say it loud enough. Do not go over there threatening to unalive anybody. You do not go over there threatening of anything at all.
Right.
You can find out their employers. You can email their employers. You can report their accounts. That is it. Depending on how these two situations are handled is going to let me know if I can bring anybody in to help work with me. But for Liam, Carissa, and Angelique, you got what you deserved.
This lady here says freedom of speech is right, followed by freedom from consequences is not. Another person says Carolina Panthers just talking about this.
He went from public to private to deleted. You can't even find the account. Stop calling his command. This post right here. He's been fired. He's been relieved of his duties. I don't know what his duties were. He's under investigation. And I don't take any pleasure in saying that, number one. And number two, you guys stop DMing him. His account's gone. He went from public to private to deleted. You can't even find the account. Stop calling his command. Stop attacking this guy. Trust me, he's feeling the full weight of it now. He is, and so I'm just telling you, if you're on my page, if you love me, that means you love everybody. That's right. Even the captain. Sir, I love you. All right?
So that's that.
Look, like I was saying, y'all got to be mindful of what y'all saying to these platforms. Really think about it before you say it out, especially if you're working for certain companies. If you got your own thing going, hey, do it that way. You got your First Amendment, but hey, they out here looking. A lot of people are really angry. Not only that, there are people on the far radical right that want to go out and hurt someone. Just like there's people on the radical left, that guy that ended up doing that to Charlie Kirk. There are people like that on the right as well. So be careful out there. Be careful what you say. Sometimes it's really just best to keep certain thoughts to yourself. End of the day, bottom line, point blank, period. We out, we gone. Much love. Peace.